Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 49 of Get Real with Rajiv. Like every single week, I'm going to be answering 4 questions for you, and today Bhakti is going to be the voice of your questions. So Bhakti, what's the first question?
Our first question is from Sham Makhija. Having emotional attachment to your product is often detrimental to the business. How does one draw the line?
Well, Sham, I think having an emotional attachment showcases that you really care about your product or service. It only showcases that you're passionate about your product or service. When does it become detrimental? It becomes detrimental when your product or service becomes outdated and you're not willing to make the changes and modify the product or services to be able to offer something which is of value for which people are willing to spend the money. So one should always make sure that they understand that the product or service is a vehicle to serve people and in return gain value for themselves in the format of turnover and profits. And if a product or service is not doing that and it has gotten outdated or irrelevant, then one has to truly adapt and understand the macro picture is to serve customers and add value to customers' lives so that we can gain value from them in the format of profits and revenues. So as an entrepreneur, I think that's the level of maturity and awareness any entrepreneur can bring. It's good to be passionate about your products or services. At the same time, you should not lose focus on the macro objective of adding value to the customers. So I think that's a pretty straightforward answer, Sham, that offer something which is of value to customers so that you get the value in return. With that, let's move to the second question for the week. Bhakti, what's the second question?
Our second question is from Manav. I am facing a challenge in hiring the right people. The CVs presented at the time of hiring are flashy and professionally written, but when it comes to actual working, most of them are not up to the expectations.
Well, Manav, I think that's a given that when a candidate is applying for a job, they are looking at selling themselves hard to the company so that they get the job. Having said that, the question I would have to you as an entrepreneur is what kind of preparatory steps are you taking before an interview so that you just don't give in to what you see on the CV. A lot of entrepreneurs I know, they look at the CV for the first time when the candidate is waiting at the door of their office and the receptionist is saying, "Sir, somebody has come for the interview." For me, that is a very unhealthy way of hiring. Hiring requires preparation. What type of preparation, you may ask? The first thing you need to do before you hire a candidate is for yourself, for your own clarity, you need to make a list of all the tasks and activities you would want that candidate to do once you hire them. Break it down in detail, step by step, sequential manner. What are the tasks and activities you want the candidate to do once you hire them? Now, based on these tasks and activities, you need to then further create another list. A list where you make a list of all the competency attributes, all the skills, all the knowledge, all the attitude required to be able to do those job tasks in an effective manner. Now, as an entrepreneur, if you do not have the clarity of job tasks and you do not have the list of skills, knowledge and attitude a job seeker or a candidate should have to be able to do that job task so that they deserve that job role, then you're walking into an interview playing blind. That is gambling then, and then you're just trusting them based on the answers they are giving you. And essentially most interviews are nothing but an interviewer asking the interviewee to explain what is written on their CV. And they know that fully, so they are going to come and present themselves like God's gift to mankind, the Greek god of competence and capabilities, and you feel you found the right candidate. Now you are to blame for such a trap if you've not listed out the skills, knowledge, attitude elements a person should have for that job role. And in the interview, you should have steps and strategies, methods to make sure you are able to evaluate whether this candidate has these skills, knowledge and attitude or not. Now that could be in the format of giving them an assessment. It could be in the format of just observing certain attributes based on the skills knowledge list that you have created. Or it could be in the format of giving them some tasks and activities which they have to do in the job role as a mock task or a mock activity which will give you good visibility into their skills and knowledge. Or it could be in the format of asking them indirect behavioral questions. Only when you do these 3 steps of preparing job tasks, preparing the list of skills, knowledge and attitude required for the job task, and evaluating the candidate based on the skills, knowledge and attitude by giving them activities, assignments, role plays or assessments. Only when you do these 3 steps can you hire the right candidate. So the question you need to ask yourself is that, are you screening and selecting the right person, or are you just giving into the world peace answers that candidate is giving you at the time of the interview and getting excited thinking you found your ideal son-in-law? There is no ideal son-in-law on the planet. So always test and evaluate. I hope that makes sense to you, Manav. With that, let's move to the third question.
Our third question is from Puneet Gupta. I'm not able to manage my time. I don't know what to do, how to do and when to do. When any new task comes, I jump to it leaving what I was doing. I don't know how to set my priorities. Please help me manage myself.
Well, Puneet, managing time is actually a byproduct of the level of clarity an individual has in their own life. And let me break it down for you in terms of what type of clarity am I talking about. I feel people who do not have clear goals are the ones who actually struggle with this facet called time management. Because think about it. When you have clear goals, then you have a direction. You know what's important to you, what's not important to you. And then based on those goals, then you need to have the capabilities as well as the systems to be able to achieve those goals. So for a lot of people, it's not the challenge of time management. It's actually the challenge of clarity management. You need clarity of goals. Then you need clarity of systems and plans to achieve those goals. Then you need clarity of capability, or you need capabilities to fulfill those systems or follow those systems or accomplish those plans. So my question to you, Puneet, would be, do you know what you want? What are your goals in your business and in your life? Do you know what you want? Now, based on knowing what you want, do you have clear systems on how to achieve what you want? And then have you defined the role for yourself as to what you have to do and what you do not have to do? Because the third element is clarity of your role. Do you have clear roles of what you will do, what you will not do, what you will hire for, what you will outsource, what you will delegate, or what you will delay or defer and not look at it in the immediate future? Only when you have this clarity of your role, then automatically making decisions in alignment to what is important, what's a priority, becomes a natural behavioral response for a person. I have seen quite a few people use planning tools and all of these kind of templates, but in reality, time management or mastering time only happens when you have clarity of goal, clarity of a system and a plan, clarity of role, and then you have the capability to do what is required to be done to achieve that goal. So Puneet, I would say work on these 4 elements of clarity rather than just thinking that you need a better planner or a time management system for yourself. Automatically you will start allocating your time to things that deserve it rather than things that demand it. That's the simplest way I know about how to master time and manage time. With that, let's go to the 4th and final question for this week. Bhakti, what's the 4th question?
Our 4th question is from Anjan Kumar. Willingness and ability are the 2 factors to find effectiveness. Ability is improved by training. How to improve the willingness of employees?
Well, I would say, Anjan, like you said, ability is improved by training. I would say willingness is improved by coaching. And this is where you as a business owner need to play the role of a coach for your team members. Now, I know this word coaching is overused and abused nowadays where everybody calls themselves a coach. But coaching is actually a science. It's the science of asking questions. It's a science that makes a person reflect and then get clarity and make choices according to that. And that's where, as a business owner, you need to develop the ability of asking questions. And what type of questions am I talking about to enhance the willingness of employees? The questions I'm talking about is actually asking your employees, why do they come to work? What is it that they want to accomplish for themselves in the short term, in the medium term, in the long term? What is the role that they need to play to be able to deserve what they desire in terms of a monetary return or in terms of career growth? Now, these kind of questions is something that you need to ask. Now, this is not just merely a checklist. This is actually building that relationship with your employees where they trust and they have the confidence that you genuinely care to help them achieve their goals, and that your business is a vehicle for them to come and contribute to, so that the vehicle can repay them the career and the financial growth aspirations they have, because of which they will do whatever it takes at the workplace. And I have often noticed this, that when entrepreneurs build that rapport, build that confidence, build that connection with their team members, and they ask their team members, why do they do what they do? Why do they come to work? What is their goal, short term, medium term, long term? And sometimes these people will not have ready answers. In fact, for most people, this would probably be the first time they would have ever heard that question or thought of that question. But as a business owner, you need to create that environment and that consciousness all the time, so that people are connected to their larger goals. There is always a goal behind a goal. People's objective of coming to work is not just to make money. There's something that they want to do with that money. Do you know that as a business owner about your team members? Because when you know that, then you can help them stay connected to that goal behind the goal, that larger purpose, which makes them want to contribute, which makes them want to take more responsibility, which makes them enhance their own willingness. So I would say the best method to get people or employees to enhance their willingness is to connect them to their larger personal goal, nothing to do with the business. One of the things I have learned over the last 14 years as an entrepreneur is that I don't expect my team members to care about the company. I expect my team members to care about their own goals. And I as an entrepreneur have the ability to tie up their personal goals with their role and goal in the organization, so that when they contribute to their role and goal within the organization, I as an organization can fulfill their personal goals. That's one of the most powerful ways I have discovered to be able to build teams and to be able to build leaders who want to play 100% within the business. I hope you find that useful, Anjan. With that, we've come to the end of episode number 49, and it's time for us to pick the best question of the week. So I'm going to ask Bhakti to indicate to me from behind the camera which question she thinks deserves to win the best question of the week. So Bhakti, which one do you think? Okay, I'm in complete alignment with Bhakti on this one. So the winner for the best question of episode number 49 is Anjan Kumar, which was question number 4. Thank you, Anjan, for asking that question on how do you create willingness in employees, because I think my answer would help a lot of entrepreneurs who are struggling with generating that commitment and ownership. Thank you for asking such a universal and relevant question. So my team will reach out to you, Anjan, and they will gift you a copy of my book, Lead or Bleed. Enjoy the read, my friend. And for those of you who are watching episode number 49, we are one episode away from episode number 50. So you gotta be nice, you gotta be kind, you gotta ask your questions in the comment section below, and you gotta share this episode with more people on your social media timelines, so that more people get visibility of Get Real with Rajiv and benefit from the knowledge that I share on these episodes. So click the share button right now. Be nice, be kind, be a learner, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.